It's Madden NFL 23, where we'll see a brawl inside the AFC North. It's the Steelers and the Bengals coming up next.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis up in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Very pleased to be with you for another season of NFL football. And Charles, we are no stranger to rivalry games between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. What is different is that the roles have kind of been reversed. Cincinnati comes in as a division favorites following last year's Super Bowl appearance. The Steelers no more Big Ben, and they're now viewed as likely underdogs.
And we've known that the roles have been reversed since last season and the entire offseason. Yet still hearing you say it, it still has to sink in. And I know the Bengals fans, they're very happy to see those roles reversed because they had dropped 11 straight to Pittsburgh prior to their recent resurgence. So this was a great test for both of these teams to start off this season. Pittsburgh with a new quarterback and Cincinnati coming off with a Super Bowl.
On to get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. Well, the Bengals getting set for their first possession of the ball game and leading them out in his third season. Really the face of Cincinnati football, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow could have won Comeback Player of the Year last season simply for his statistics. 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns through the air. But he brought the entire Bengal organization on a comeback after 5 straight losing seasons. First with a division title, then an unexpected AFC title, and led the team to their 3rd Super Bowl ever. And he had them less than 2 minutes away from winning it for the first time. Keep an eye on Joey B. He expects to bring a Super Bowl title to Cincinnati in the near future.
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 20. 40 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
11 MT, take.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
First and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. They'll give it to Mixon, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are on the board here first in the season opener. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Here come the Steelers for the first time in this game with their free agent signing at quarterback, the former #2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky. 1st and 10 here for Trubisky and the Steelers at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. They go play action. Trubisky, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
12, stop.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the #1 thing he does best is tackle.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gun. 11 empty. Stop.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, already his 2nd touchdown here this opening weekend. And the Bengals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have one bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. To return is Taylor. Oh, he bowls over it. Almost out-kicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now. It's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them. I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
McPherson on for the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 40-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And here's Taylor on the return. All told, that a 55-yard punt with a net of 40 after the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 212 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
Here we go.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. This is Mixon on the draw. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this league could become.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Trubisky. He's got it to Hilton. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now it's Trubisky. Looking left sideline, incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And some space here. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards. We'll make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Mixon is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and it pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
McPherson now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Trubisky eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Trubisky to throw. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Now a first down carry for Harris. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run again with Harris. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
That was tremendous effort, especially after the catch. Breaking through tackles, fighting for extra yards.
So was that just great effort, or were there a lot of missed tackles?
Yeah, the defense did help him a bit.
Yeah, they certainly did, but let's focus on the positive. He made it happen.
Here we go.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. It's Mixon on the counter. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, 22 yards. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it is 42-0. Was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win. So for the Bengals, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.